who will practice faith in God. We need leaders who will share our Christian values. We need leaders who will lead us to rebuild our nation's faith, who will lead us to be one nation, say it with me, one nation under God, indivisible. That's what Nehemiah did for his nation. When he started the mission, he prayed and sought the face of God, and then he went to work. He never forgot whose wall it was. It was God's wall. He never took credit for what God did. The wall rose as Nehemiah's prayers rose. The wall rose as the faith of the people rose. And whenever they faced a crisis, when the enemy attacked, Nehemiah said, "Remember the Lord. He will fight for you. Keep your faith in Him." When was the last time one of our leaders in America called this nation to seek the face of God? Remember the Lord. He will fight for you. And call this nation to rebuild the wall of faith in God. Call this nation to thank God for His success. Call this nation to trust God in times of trouble. Call this nation to worship God. I can't remember a time. There's been little times. There's been certain times. There have been leaders who have sometimes said, well, let's pray for those victims. Or we've had leaders that said, well, let's be thankful on Thanksgiving. But you know, I cannot remember a leader like Nehemiah who gave God all the credit for His blessings upon the nation. Today we are in a terrible condition, and we need a wall of faith rebuilt. We need leaders like Nehemiah who will see himself or herself as instruments in the hand of God and will build for His glory. Make no mistake about it, I'm an American, a proud American, and I believe I live in the greatest nation on the face of this earth. But the things that are happening now were not what God planned. Notice with me, secondly, Nehemiah continued the work of God. Verses 1 and 2. Then it was when the wall was built and I had hung the doors, when the gatekeepers, the singers, and the Levites had been appointed, that I gave the charge of Jerusalem to my brother Hanani and Hananiah, the leader of the citadel, for he was a faithful man and feared God more than many. He was faithful and feared God. That ought to be the test for us electing our leaders, shouldn't it? It should be. The wall was finished. The huge gates were hung. But the work was not over. The people who had worked so hard to build the wall now needed to guard the wall. Those